Hello, hello, hello. My name is Troy White, financial educator and portfolio manager at Hoodoo Financial. And today, what we're talking about is the need for you to invest in real estate. And uh, this is how I want to emphasize it. You need to invest in real estate, especially not just if you don't have money, especially if you don't have money. So naturally, very first question is, how am I going to invest in real estate if I don't have money to invest in real estate? All right, I didn't say invest your money, but you're going to invest your money because you're first going to make some money. So um, let's dive into how this is. How now, it, every person is going to say, yeah, but my situation is this. Yeah, but mine is this. And then I will have to come back and say, oh, okay, well, then what you should do is this and that. And say, oh, but that won't work for me because of this or that. That's the naysayers that always happen. And the thing is, I hit them continuously with another solution to the problem. There's a solution to every problem. You just got to be creative and think about it, and be a little bit flexible. And so I understand you could keep throwing some sort of monkey wrench into it, but I'm telling you, once you're ready to really do for yourself and follow and believe in what I'm telling you, and a lot of what you already know because you've been hearing it for the longest about real estate, you know, it's it's a way to do it without any money. Let's start. First off, you're always going to need to be searching for investors and motivated sellers. Always. So, my ultimate goal for you is to buy one uh, piece of property per year for the next 10 years at least. Okay. All right. Because I want you to end up with 40 units. That's really what if you can get 4,000, that's great too. But I want you to end up with 40 units. I don't care how old you are. That's my goal for you. All right. So we're always in search of investors and motivated sellers. It's a whole nother video on how you could do that, right? Because that's it's just a regular person like you can do that. All right. But that's a key component. You gotta always be looking for it. And then I'm going to tell you some programs. You're going to say, well, how I don't have the money. How can I get started? I'm going to tell you some programs before I talk about some of the actions and activities that we're going to do that if you don't have any money. All right, some of the programs, NACA, NACA, that's Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America. I got some complaints about them as well, but I'll just go ahead and just say, you know, just keep an open mind, but it works. And I know many people who it's worked for. And it's a program that helps you get your financial house in order enough to qualify for a loan that will be 1% below market rate. It will be no money down and no closing costs. And bam, that. And you can use that on it's any single family loan. That means that's 1 to 4 units. So I would encourage you to use this program, get you 4 unit property. Bam, you in there already for next to nothing. Okay, FHA program. That's a 3.5% down. You're gonna probably need to use that. Um, Section 8. For those of you who got Section 8, you're really ahead of others because you can use your Section 8 as income so to buy a property. So if you got Section 8, then we need to start finding you a property right now. You need to find a property that's a 4 unit building and the other 3 units count towards your income to buy this property. So the other 3 tenants, say they're paying 1,000 each. So now you make 3,000 plus your voucher might be 3,000. So you make 6,000. That qualifies you for this building. The building is only 200,000, 300,000, depending on your market. And you buy the building. those three people are subsidizing your life, you're living. But wait a minute, you got the voucher, so their money, some of their money goes into your pocket. You're now making money on this building. All right, so that's Section 8, folks. That's some of the things you can do. Auctions. I got a great friend that he hits them auctions. He's buying land. He's buying buildings. He's hitting it up. Auctions. Tax lien sales. I got a closer friend, my wife. She got a property. She got that we got now, and she got that off of tax lien. And she slowed up on doing that for a while, but I'm sure she'll tackle that market again soon. And so but even if whatever your search is for property, um, the goal is to find a motivated seller, some sort of below market rate property, a seller that will hopefully be flexible on their terms, enough that allow you to buy it, rent it, and hold it. That's what we're looking to do. So there's four things you need to know to do this, and these four methods, doesn't matter how much the property costs. This is what you need to do to if you don't have the money to buy the building. And first thing, we're going to make an offer that is the investor's offer, and this is an offer that this is a cash offer. Remember, it's the investor's offer, and it's a cash offer that includes some equity in it already, so that I can turn around and go get a hard money loan. So I want built-in equity, because they're going to give me a loan to value of a certain range, and it's likely 70% loan to value. If it's a commercial property, they're going to probably give you 65% loan to value. And you got to check with your lender, because in some cases they want actual cash dollars coming out of your pocket, not just credit to the seller of this amount of equity. So so you got to work, find that type of lender as well. I said you got to find investors and motivated sellers, but you also need to be looking for hard money lenders and other all kind of lending institutions. Develop relationships if you can, but at least have them on your Rolodex. And so we're gonna so we're making that bottom basement offer, which is market value market value times 0.70 minus repair costs minus sales costs is going to equal the purchase price that you're going to offer to buy this property at. It's going to be very low, considering what person's expectation is. Expectation is always up here, but the reality of what we're saying is down here. We're investors. We're not trying to, and so you got to give them the explanation as to why this is going to work. It's going to be quick. It's going to be fast, and you get to, this is what investors will pay you, regardless if it's me or anyone else. And so you do have some wiggle room. So you need to understand where you can bend, but without breaking. And so in terms of that MV times 0.70, this is so that we need 70% of the ARV. But I like to ensure, I want to start with 70. If it's for sale of 800,000 right now, but the ARV will bring it up to 1.2 million. I want to start with the 800,000. Say, hey, I'll give you 70% of that. But they're gonna try to negotiate with you. So that is one of the areas that you have room for negotiation. So it should be your MV, your market value, that we're, for the sake of this calculation, is less than or equal to the ARV, the after repair value. But the market value must also be greater than or equal to the current market value. So, It could be vacant, it could be burned up, it could be, roaches or whatever got it so low right now. But with your tender loving care, it'll boost it up to the ARV. So in between those two numbers is some wiggle room for you to adjust the price. But you cannot go beyond um, the ARV. It has to be less than or equal to ARV times 0.70. Now, and then you could change the 0.70 based on if you got cash to put in, then you're going to need less of that. So you can change that calculation. So if you're only going to need, if you're willing to put in cash, we can recalculate that amount, um, that percentage, because you're already putting money in the deal. So your ARV number will be different. All right, minus repair costs. So we want to know what it's going to cost to fix this building. I want to take that out of the price that I'm paying for it. So, if it's going to take $100,000 to repair it, then I don't want it to. It's the market value times 70% minus what it's going to cost for me to fix this thing up. And if I'm going to a hard money lender, there's going to be some sales costs. I got to pay points. I got to pay interest only for the year that I'm fixing it up. So I got to make sure that I have the sales cost factored in, because if I take that out of the proceeds from the loan, I'm out of my repair costs basically, then I might come up short on what it takes to repair it, just so that I can keep the deal afloat. So you got to count that in. And so, but now let's say through the negotiation, it turns out, well, they only want to give you a price that doesn't fit your criteria. Well, if the numbers don't fit for you to turn it over to a hard money lender for financing and keep it for yourself, then sell the deal. Sell the deal to those investors that you've been in search of for all this time, talking to, keeping on record, so that you have a Rolodex of investors. So you turn around and say, hey, I'm gonna help wholesale the deal. So they might give you X amount. Excuse me, 10,000, 5,000, whatever you negotiate, and you're gonna use those proceeds, what you make from your wholesaling, to finally put into your own deal when you do find these numbers. Because if you found one and you negotiated the terms, then that's excellent practice for you to, you're going to find. That means you're definitely going to find one for yourself. All right. But then let's say you determine, I'm not going to flip this. Excuse me, not flip it, but I'm not going to wholesale this deal. I want to find a way for it to work. Well, if you could get this motivated seller to use some creative financing, then there's a way for both to win, because you can pay less on a cash offer, all cash offer, um, than you can if the terms are favorable. So the more favorable the terms, the higher you can go on the price, and the more rigid in terms of on the terms, the more rigid you have to be on your bottom basement price. So there's some room for flexibility there, and there's three methods that you can use that'll help you walk into this property without using your money. And so first one is a seller carry. Seller carry is the purchase price on that one is going to be the ARV times 0.85 minus RC. That equals the purchase price. And so that means you can pay up to 85% of the after repair value. And in part is because they're paying they're carrying the note for you. So you don't have to qualify somewhere else. You qualify because of them. They're carrying the note. And so you can offer this higher purchase price since they are the note holder. And the seller gets some cash flow for the time frame of your deal, of your this loan, and uh, the terms are negotiable because it's just between you and this individual. And so the down payment could be or may not exist. The interest rate, um, is negotiable. The due date of this note is negotiable, and generally you want it to amortize on 30-year amortization or a 40-year amortization if you can get that. And with the balloon payment due at some designated time frame, let's say 5 years or 10 years, and that's dependent on your exit strategy. What was your plans to do with this building? And because during the time you're going to be paying interest only payments, so your goal should be to inject value while the seller is carrying this note for you, and then you're going to uh, refinance out and cash this seller out on this note, and bam, you own the property. And the other option is a lease option. Lease option agreements, and also known as master lease options when it's in the case of a multi-unit property. So it's basically you're leasing the property with the option to buy it, and and there are terms at which you will exercise this option to buy. And in the case of a master lease option, it's a multi-unit dwelling building of some sort that where the tenants are leasing their space, and you have the master lease, and those leaseors now pay you, and you pay the owner, and you have uh, terms to buy it, the option. And so there will be an option fee of some sort, again negotiable, 5,000 to 10,000. Is something reasonable depending on the deal, size of the deal. Balloon payment on the option due date. So again, your exit strategy is what's going on. And that balloon payment you're coming with by exercising your option to buy, and you should build into the price. So basically, the price that you are paying for this is going to be current market value minus the repair cost. That equals the purchase price or the option price. So if you've got 5 years to inject value and and potentially even extract income from this property before you need to, then you should have built in some equity for yourself. So so like I said, current market value minus repair cost, and in 5 years you should have some appreciation, and and when you purchase from the owner, it's all good for you. So your lease should be less than or equal to 15% below market rate. So there's a spread there for you to make improvements on the property and get in new tenants that are paying higher income, especially in the case of a master lease option. This is making the building more valuable. And when it's time to refinance out and pay for and exercise your option to buy this property, then it's going to have more value. And so that spread dependent in the case you say, if let's say if it's a 10-unit building, then you're paying your lease is 15% below market, and you bring the rents up to market. Then let's just say hypothetically that you getting $100 a door. Okay, that's $1,000 that you're making. Even if it may be more than that. You could be making $500 a door. So, point being, that's income to you, and you really don't even own the building yet. You didn't put any money into it. And so another way is subject to. Subject to is where you assume the existing loan, and The thing there is it's a requirement for you to catch up on the principal and interest payments that haven't been getting paid, the taxes that wasn't paid, and then some cash to the seller at closing. And so first you need to identify when you find that circumstance, which is not hard. You find in distress circumstances, people in distress situations with their real estate, and those are the people who will take this deal, and you're going to be able to, they can walk away free and clear, basically, is what's going on. And you're going to first identify the current loan terms of you want the status of the current loan, and that's going to help you determine what's the current equity that's in the building, to see if this is even going to work for you, and determine the current expenses, and what are the future expenses you're going to incur in this. And that's going to help you identify if it's a good deal or not. But this can be a good deal where you can just step in and start making the payments. Go in and put some sweat equity in, get the owner out of the building, get some good tenants in the building, fixed up the property. And again, it's all about your exit strategy, and you need to perform, because the terms are what is allowing you to get the deal. Now, if you violate the terms, if you can't live up to the terms, then you messed up. But these strategies, seller carry, lease option, and subject to, allow you to step into a building and not buy it. That's what's happening right here. And so you can do that with a strategy of buying it by injecting some value into it, which will and some time. So that gives you appreciation and potentially income to utilize to buy this building. I mean, I keep saying refinancing it, but really you're buying it. It's just a delayed purchase. So you're getting a loan to cash them out and thank them for the terms that they gave you up until now. And so and if your terms is 10 years, then you may find that, hey, it's financially beneficial for me to remain in this deal for the entire 10 years. And then, but you don't have the benefit of utilizing the equity appreciation that you've injected. You want to extract that and go buy some more property. So, and because you're always searching for these terms. So again, we want you to do it once a year. So you find these circumstances, you got more ammunition to try to acquire the property. So the rate at which you can make the cash offer, so that you could turn around and get the money from a hard money lender. Terms for a seller carry, terms for the lease option and master lease option, and the subject to, meaning assuming the existing loan. Those are all methods to start getting into real estate investing right now, especially if you don't have any money. And we'll leave it there. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for listening. Holler at me if you need any help. My information is in the description.